Hey. Oh, for fuck's sake. Fixed it. Why did I dribbled water down myself and everything? For fuck's sake. This is how you start. This is how you start, everyone. I'm actually asleep, dude, I wish. Right. Oh, it's delicious. Yeah. Volvic strawberry sugar-free touch of fruit. If you want to sponsor me, get in touch, please. I literally devour your drinks. Oh, I still have another one left after this. It's fine. Alright. Welcome in, everyone. Lovely to see you all. It's been a while since this was a thing. I know, but here we are. Remember last night? Same. That would I honestly, that would be a great and now Volvic presents WrestleMania. Wasn't it night? Well, if you're on about when the Rumble ate Emmanuel, yes, but I had just left work. I missed half an hour of the show that I had to go back and watch earlier today to actually get a whole opinion on the show. So, let's cut to the chase. I'm going to immediately shit all over the Rumble. No, I'm not. I'm going to say my honest opinion in that I think I enjoyed last year's Rumble more than this year's Rumble. Though I think a crowd had a lot to do with that, personally. But I will give credit where credit is due. I think that was the best Women's Rumble they've done. I honestly do believe that as well. I think that Women's Rumble was better than the men's. Maybe better than last year's men's. I don't know. But it was definitely the best one they've ever done. It was one of the better Rumbles in recent years as well, given that we had a good few years where it was just the winner had kind of been spoiled. Or that the winner was easy to predict in some Rumbles, especially in the Women's Rumbles. I think this was the first year for me where the Women's Rumble felt unpredictable. This was the first year, because in the first one, pretty much everyone knew Asuka was going to win. The second one, people kind of believed that Becky was going to win for the Ronda feud. The third one, everyone knew Charlotte was going to win. That was not well. Everyone knew that. This year felt like it could have gone any way. I think there was a lot of people that wanted Bianca to win, but I don't think a lot of people believed Bianca would win. Or a lot of people, not believe, but a lot of people knew, for lack of a better term, that Bianca would win. I didn't know. Truth be told, when I was watching, I had no idea who'd win. I didn't know if they were going to go with Charlotte again, because you just don't know, because it's Charlotte. But the direction they went was great. When it came down to the final two of Bianca and Rhea, I thought that was fantastic. I thought that final two just showed how strong women's wrestling really is. Because the reality is, you had this is what they didn't need Charlotte, they didn't need Bayley, they didn't need any massive name that's already established in that regard. They just took the two names who worked their asses off in NXT for years and have been fantastic doing it at the same time, and just went, this is your moment, do it. And they did great. Absolute credit to both of them. They did great. Bianca deserved the win. A year ago, it says about what a difference a year makes as well. A year ago, Bianca was there for me. I thought she was really charismatic, but I didn't think she was that. I wasn't massive on her in the ring. A year has passed, and I'm glad a year ago I had that. I was wrong. Because a year later, she's great. She is fantastic. And she can somehow play babyface and heel incredibly well. So, all props to her for winning. I imagine she'll go for Sasha. If that's the case, Bianca and Sasha at Mania. 2 thumbs up already. That is going to be some great build with great promos. Great everything. There's no, that is one of those ones where good luck dropping the ball on that one. I think that's the nicest way of putting it. I feel like most of us are in agreement with that one as well. Like, I don't know anyone who's annoyed that Bianca won. I don't know anyone who's disappointed that Bianca won. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I certainly don't believe that there was anything to be disappointed about in terms of who won. Especially when it came down to that final two, I was like, well, I'll be happy with either winner here. Either winner, both women have earned it and deserve it. And hey, they went with Bianca. Yeah, that was the thing though. When Charlotte was in the final 3, I was like, there's every chance they could do it. There's every chance they could do it. Because you know there's every chance that she could do it. You just know there's every chance they could just go, right, okay, time for another Charlotte one. And it's like, oh, again. So, yeah, in my opinion, best women's rumble they've ever done. One of the better rumbles in recent years. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. The fact that the fact that when you compare the first women's rumble, and there were a lot of legends and stuff like that, to this year's rumble, when the only real legends were the likes of Tori, Victoria, which was a very nice touch. Who else? Alicia Fox, and I'm missing a few others, I know, but like a lot of it was NXT, and that was great. And then, well, a lot of the surprise entrants are the NXT, and that was great. Yeah, Julian. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I went to the toilet during that part, I'll be honest. Foxy, the lovely Alicia Fox. Why R-Truth though? Comedy, not funny comedy, but comedy. Yeah, I'm sure Merce was delighted with how Shotzi went on in the in the Rumble. I'm sure you saw her hit the ring and went, there we go, there's my pick, and then, you know, out she went on her ass like 2 seconds later. But yeah, fantastic Rumble. I don't think it breaks any boundaries. Like, I don't think it's gonna be, oh, top 5 Rumble of all time. No, I don't think there's anything like that. But I definitely think it's like, when you take the list of the Rumbles, it's definitely in the upper half than the lower half, which is always a good thing to say about any Rumble. Because if the troughs are a Rumble like, say, 2015, which was a bad Rumble, it blew that out of the water. But would I say that it was better than a 2016 Rumble, which is one of my all-time favorites? No, I don't think I would. But I'd say it was better, again, than any other Women's Rumble. Also, yeah, I mean, is anyone surprised that Jay White returned? I'm really not. I think anyone who believed that he was going to WWE kind of read too much into a story that didn't exist. The 2010 Rumble? I don't really remember much about that Rumble, I'll be honest. I know that was the one Edge won? Yeah, I don't... outside of Shawn. No, I don't really remember that. Isn't he still on his way to leaving? No. The Young Bucks... one of the Young Bucks came out. They were on about trying to get him in AEW, and they came out like 2 weeks after the whole Jay White stuff was like, oh yeah, he's there for a multi-year contract. So this idea that he's leaving, I don't know where it's come from. It's people stirring up a pot that doesn't exist. And the reality is that a lot of insiders don't really get the scoop anymore because pretty much no one in New Japan likes doing business with Western insiders. They're kind of just like, stay away. Stay away. It's a little hard to compare the 2021 to the 2021. 2020 is up there for the best in a long while. I agree. Plus the handicap of 2021 not having a crowd. Agreed. Thought Matt Riddle looked like a star. I thought he did, but I also thought he looked a bit goofy in some points. At the same time, I mean, Dara, you also have the advantage, of course, of you were there for 2020. But yeah, I agree. 2020 was like 2 Rumbles in one. Like the first half was Brock eliminating everyone, and after a while it was like, okay, I get it now. But then once Drew eliminated him, boom, it went off to the runnings. It was as if like, we are now going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. Oh, here's Edge, by the way. Just like, oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, 2020 was great. 2021 was, again, I think 2021 was upper half, just. Like, to me, 2021 was like a middle-of-the-road Rumble. Which is not to say it's a bad thing, because the Rumble is always the one match of the year that no matter what the situation, you always have to watch, because there's nothing that's ever like a Royal Rumble. And I believe that a middle-of-the-road Royal Rumble match is way higher of a feat to achieve than a middle-of-the-road Money in the Bank match or something like that. I think 2021 was good, but not great. That's the best way. I think the Women's Rumble was borderline great. I think the Men's Rumble was good. That's the difference. It was I mean, they kind of ruined a lot of the oomph for me when they were like, oh yeah, number one's Edge. And it was like, right, okay. Well, he's going to be in the final too then. You know? It was just kind of one of those things where it was like, there's nothing special about that, you know? And then Orton came at number 2 and it was like, great, thank you for telling us that this was numbers 1 and 2 like 3 days in advance. Thank you for taking a lot of mystique out of the Rumble. And then it was like Edge was just there for most of it, if you get my drift. He wasn't like I don't know, I kind of forgot Edge was there at some points. Which is a good thing, because it meant that the Rumble wasn't centered around him like it was with like Reigns in 2016 or 2015 for that matter. But it was just kind of like, okay, there's no story to this Rumble. There's just people doing things. Like, that's the difference. Is like, okay, 2016 admittedly, while it was centered around Reigns, it was then the story of everyone wants to be WWE champion, and it just kept on like building and building and building until Triple H was number 30, 10 on 10. This year was just kind of, people come out, do things, some small things happen here and there, but the overarching thing is that Edge and Orton was still in at the end. Yeah. You know, that I don't know, it took a bit of oomph away from me. I'm also one of these people who doesn't like legends. Like, I get into a good bit of debate in the Discord about this, that I am not someone who loves to see legends taking the spotlight. I'll get back to this in a second, because Murph's, so I have to stop because Murph's made a point. Do I think the result of the Men's Rumble saved it? No, I don't. Personally, no. I get the idea they're going forward the Edge feel-good story of, oh my god, he's back, and last year he came so close, but this year he did it all from number 1. Cool. Like, yeah, I love Edge, but cool. I don't know. It just doesn't... This is the thing to me that I said this last night, and Edge is a massive part of my childhood. It is, you know, he is a fantastic part of the childhood as well. But he's that. He's my childhood. He's over there, you know? I'm kind of interested in here, now. The likes of your Rollins, your Daniel Bryan, who I thought was going to win it, truth be told. Your Strowmans, even though that was a bad example. Your Rollins, your Riddles. Edge and Orton is 10 years ago. Not 2021. Like, don't get me wrong, they'll do a nice story with Edge, the feel-good story of him going after to grab a title and, you know, to be champion, because he technically never was beaten for the title. He had to retire it due to injury. That's going to be a feel-good story. But I struggle to connect with feel-good stories when they're centering around guys who have done it all in the business, for one, like Edge has, and also is in his 40s. That's the big difference to me, is that age is a massive factor. Legends are a massive factor. I am kind of over it now. You know? Like, Edge, when he came back, fantastic moment. Best moment of last year. No arguments there. But it's been a year now. Dude got injured again. Dude's back. And I just, like, yeah, again, love Edge. Be a great childhood moment to see him as a world champion, but that's childhood me. Adult me doesn't want to see him as world champion. So no, I don't know if the finish did save it. I would have preferred Daniel Bryan personally. But that's me believing that Bryan absolutely and wholeheartedly deserves a Royal Rumble win. That's just what I believe. And also I think Bryan and Roman at Mania would have been fantastic. They could still do it, but it not being the Rumble winner versus Roman takes a little bit of oomph out of there for me. What do I think the scary part would be for the Rumble? WWE didn't say there would be one. Someone reported that someone from WWE had said that something scary would happen. I think they just debated people, is the honest truth. I think they were just like, oh, something scary is going to happen. And then they probably either went, nah, we're not doing that, or that was never a thing, and they just said that just to stir the pot. Also gets injured in the first 5 minutes and comes back in the last 5 minutes is the worst spot in Rumble history. Correct. There were two things. There were two things in this Rumble. There were two spots in the Rumbles that made me realize how much I dislike them as spots. One of them was the Randy Orton tweaking his ankle and then appearing in the last 20 seconds, hit an RKO, and then get eliminated. What a dork. Not even your own finisher is good enough to win a match. And then the other one, they did this so many times with Bianca Belair in the Women's Rumble. Skimming the cat. How many times do you have to skim the cat to realize that you could just stop yourself going over the top rope in the first place? Oh, the skimming the cat did my head in at the end. I never was big on it, but then it just started to annoy me. And it was like, okay, this is the 8th time you've skimmed the cat in this match. Now, please stop. Just hang out, just go over the top rope and hang out on the apron for a second, please. Stop dingle-dangling over the edge. Oh, thank you for the money, Josh. I'll text me if you love me. There you go, I sent you a message on Discord. Thank you for the money. When Randy hit the RKO, I thought he was going to win. Yeah, so did I, and it really deflated me. And then Edge won, and then Edge threw him over the top rope, and I was like, oh yeah, cool. Nice moment. That was I think that's the best way to describe it for me. That whole Rumble can be described in that little moment. Oh, cool. Nice moment. It was like when McIntyre won, I remember just thinking, that was amazing, and the right guy won. This one, I feel like, it was like, oh, okay. Cool moment. Glad for you, Edge. Bring on Mania, I guess. Like, that's the 2020 last year's Royal Rumble did a fantastic job of getting me absolutely over the moon excited for WrestleMania. This one didn't as much. This one was, again, good but not great. It just, I don't know if I don't feel as excited for it as I did for last year's Mania. I probably feel as excited for this year's Mania as I did for Mania 35. And I say that because 2019's Mania was also an obvious one. Most of us, if not all of us, pretty much knew that Seth was going to win, which is great for me. I was happy, boy. But at the same time, I didn't feel anything after Seth won, and I didn't feel anything after Edge won. I felt something after McIntyre won. I marked out. But I didn't have a mark out moment for Seth winning or for Edge winning. I was really happy for Bianca when she won. I guess you can classify that as a mark out moment, but I didn't feel anything when Edge won. As for King Corbin eliminating Nakamura, exactly, they did it for exactly the reason why you're typing. Just to piss you off. Because Corbin is that good of a heel. Randy Orton, I'll tell you what he did, right? You just used one of these. If you want to recover from third-degree burns, you just use some Nivea for men. You just do this. You just grab all the burns and you just go, ta-da! He's fixed. Oh, I'll admit, I marked out when Christian came out. But, it can kind of stay there, you know? Oh, hang on, hashtag ad. Let me just flash my 2 most used products. There we go. That's that in. Any of those will sponsor me, please. First degree burns aren't that bad. Correct? Yeah. 100%. You know, if you ever had first degree burns, just put a bit of moisturizer on them. You'll be fine in like 5 hours. That was also another thing about the Rumble with Orton. They just completely ditched everything he's doing with The Fiend. He RKO'd Bliss on Monday. Remember that? No one else does. That's the I don't know. They just continuity just went out of the window for, hey, remember this feud from months ago that Randy Orton won technically in the greatest wrestling match ever? Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're bringing that back. Fuck The Fiend. Great, thank you. Out of context, a moisturizer and a water bottle could mean anything. Look, Moose, all I'm saying is, right, you just need to earn my trust. Was Christian really worth being Final 4? No. Christian was a great return moment. But I think you're right in the fact that Orton should have eliminated him and not... Was it Seth who threw him out? Like, he just felt like, oh, he was there. Cool. But I will give credit. I think biggest star of the Rumble, the guy who felt the most like a fucking oomph when he joined in the ring, was Damian Priest. They did a fantastic job with Priest in that Rumble. Oh, Gresh with money. Thank you. Right, now I'm going to stop streaming. I've got money. Thank you. Bye. No. That's my Ridge Wallet payment coming in right there. Lovely. Thank you. Much appreciated. Priest looked fantastic. His attire was great. He came in. They built him up to feel like, oh, this guy's going to do things. And he did things. Throwing out Kane was a really good touch. Getting rid of Miz and Morrison in one go, really good touch. The dude just looked good. Like, he looked really good. I was really impressed by him. And I hope it's the start of good things, but who knows, you know? But yeah, that was one of the brighter points of the Rumble. Carlito coming back, I mean, it was cool. No pun intended. It was cool. I had a mark-out moment for it, but then he started doing the backstab, and I was like, man, remember when this used to be a finishing move? And now, like, 9,000 people have it in their movesets in 2K. I didn't feel like Corbin was a star. Corbin was there for me. I don't even remember who eliminated him. That might say a lot. Did I have any CM Punk vibes this year? No! No! Stop thinking Punk's gonna come back. He hates wrestling. It is a cool move, I'll admit. The backstabber does look cool, but at the same time, it has absolutely no... It just looks... Oh. Like, that just looks... Oh. That's how I would describe it at this point. Oh, Dominic eliminated him? Oh, okay. That again says how much I remember about Corbin's run. I don't even remember him eliminating Nakamura. I had to Google that. And I had the Rumble on this monitor that you can't see the entire time. And I was like, oh. So, yeah. Speaking of Goldberg, even though it's because Supreme put it in, I just want to touch upon it briefly. Goldberg and McIntyre was crap, terrible. It was the, it was what they've been doing for years on it, since Goldberg and Lesnar. Now this idea of two behemoths mate, and they have unlimited finishers. You did it at Mania 33. You did it at Mania 34. You did it twice at Mania 36. You did it again last night. It hasn't been good since Goldberg and Lesnar. Carlito didn't spit in Nakamura. Honestly, my favorite part would have been, right, if he got the apple, right, but because Nakamura's wearing the gum shield, he like tries to bite into it and he's just there gumming on it for about 5 minutes. 5 minutes of it. Just stares at the camera for 5 minutes gumming over the fact that he can't eat an apple because he's got a gum shield in. Doesn't get eliminated. Everyone else keeps on running into the ring doing their entrances and all that. But it's just Nakamura, hard cam, gumming an apple. You kind of need it to do with Goldberg because that's all anyone cares about Goldberg. Right, here's a proposal that I raise. Don't use Goldberg. I know, it's brave, it's bold, but don't do it. Goldberg has now been living off the legend of Goldberg longer than he's been living off of being Goldberg. That says a lot about Goldberg at this point. And also, yes, his matches are just getting more and more... Oh, but they will? Oh, I know. Oh, I know. Oh, I know they will. They are not going to stop using Goldberg. Hang on. Not. I haven't used this in so long. There's so much dust on it. Wow. Hold the presses, everyone. We got a mad lad over here. We have a new member of GOAT. Welcome to the GOAT tier, Gabriel. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Ad break. Right, where were we? Oh, Goldberg. Yeah, I mean, they'll keep on using Goldberg. I just sound like I was clapping cheeks, bro. I am clapping cheeks. Dude, it's the nut button. You do this, and you clap some cheeks. Nut. The Rumble was another reminder of how shite WWE camera work could be. Oh, God. Kevin Dunn loves him some camera cuts. Edge versus Reigns or Edge versus Drew? Edge versus Drew. I think Edge is going to win at Mania. I think they're going to go the whole hog with this feel-good story. And if they're going to do that, beat the guy who's been WWE champion for pretty much a year. Don't beat the guy who's the best thing in wrestling right now. Because this is the thing. If you do Edge and Roman, in my opinion, Edge has to lose. He has to lose. If you do Edge and Drew, Edge can have his feel-good moment. Edge can hold the title up. To be fair, he'd look pretty good with the WWE title as well. It suits him. But if you're going to do Edge and Roman, you cannot convince me that Edge should beat Roman. And if you're going to do the whole feel-good thing with Edge just to have Roman beat him at Mania, you are just cock-teasing all the people who want Edge to have this moment. I think that's the reality of the situation. What was I going to say? Miz could... I don't think he'd cash in at Mania. I think they do a night after Mania type thing. So who faces Roman? Shinsuke or Bryan? Bryan. I think those are Shinsuke at Fastlane. Like I said, Because I thought Bryan was going to win. I think they can still do Roman and Bryan. There's nothing stopping them doing Roman and Bryan. They should do Roman and Bryan. But I think Shinsuke will be the fast lane choice. Fast lane? Pie chair? No one should beat Roman. Nah, not right now. Not right now. He is fantastic. Imagine Edge just says fucking guns for Balor. Imagine. They're just like, we need to win the Wednesday night wars that don't exist. You think you know me? Do I think they should give Cesaro a push? No. 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 Great in-ring wrestler. Fantastic. But he has a ceiling, and his ceiling is not WWE champion. It could have been 5-6 years ago. Not in 2021. What is Rollins doing for Mania? Well, he came back with the Messiah gimmick. So, in my opinion, if he came back with the Messiah gimmick, he's still a heel. They'll probably give him Kevin Owens again. I don't know. They might give him something. They might, I don't know, give him Dominic again. Or who knows what they'll do with him. They'll do something. But considering he was the Messiah and he was acting heel, I think that they'll keep him as the Messiah and keep him heel. But I don't know if... Rollins and Bryan is a fantastic match. There's no doubt about it, and I'd love to see that at Mania, but I don't think it should be at this Mania, because then you've pretty much left Roman with Shinsuke, and as much as I love Shinsuke, or rather I love New Japan Shinsuke, I don't think Shinsuke's deserving of a WrestleMania title match right now, given the fact that in the same breath as Cesaro has been cold as ice, Shinsuke for the last year has been practically non-existent. That is down to the booking at some point, yes. It's also down to the point that Shinsuke Nakamura, when he doesn't care, he doesn't care. He absolutely phones it in as hard as he can, does the bare minimum, but gets away with it because the internet loves him. That's an honest truth about him as well. Yeah, there we go. They're going to give Shane McMahon to Rollins. McMahon-Rollins. Emmanuel's predicted it. I'm waiting on my return to OnlyFans. Dude, I'm waiting for this Bella Delphine hype train to die down. That's what I'm waiting for. I don't want to steal her thunder, you know? Just, let her have her moment in the spotlight and then I'll come over. I'll come back over. If Edge didn't win the Rumble, I'd say Edge versus Rollins. That's a really good dream match as well. But, they've got themselves in this... They've got the ball in their court now. It's about how they get to WrestleMania. This is, this is the 3 months of the year where WWE puts on its best TV week in and week out. And they have got to do... In my opinion, they've got to do more than what they had to do last year to make WrestleMania greater. And that's also going to be harder given the fact that the situation that they're in, of course, with no crowds and stuff like that. It's going to be a tall order. But that's what they're going to do. In my heart, I wanted it to be... Sammy is number one as a conspiracy. See, that would have been quite good. That would have been quite good. Or like Sammy's in the ring, but the only other people in the ring are like Edge and Orton. That would have been good for a conspiracy thing, but obviously they didn't do it. They have to do Sheamus versus Drew at some point. I think they wanted to do it, but then was just like, oh, we're not doing it. That's kind of how it came across as. Do I think Shane's retired? Who knows? He might come back. I didn't see Roman or Jay getting involved with Nakamura's elimination at all. I mean, that would have made sense if Nakamura headed into the Rumble feeling like a favorite, but for me, he didn't. He was just kind of there in the Rumble. That was the unfortunate thing. Like, they did a great job of building him back up at the Gauntlets match, but they haven't built him back up to 2017 Shinsuke Nakamura, or 2016 Shinsuke Nakamura when he arrived in NXT. It's like, that's the tip of the... that's where Nakamura was when he was the most over guy in NXT, and when he arrived at on that SmackDown post-Mania, he's about there right now, So Roman or Jay getting involved to get rid of a guy who's there, when a guy like Daniel Bryan still feels like he's up there. I don't think that would have made much sense. Yeah, I don't know if Jay was there for corona concerns or anything like that. I'm glad he didn't get involved, I gotta say, because I think the match was better, the fact that Jay wasn't there. But it also was the question of where was he? Who knows? Sammy's aim for 2021 Money in the Bank. I think that'd be a great idea. I can't argue with that. WWE shortening names isn't good. Disagree in some regards. Antonio Cesaro is not as good as Cesaro. Riddle is as worse than Matt Riddle. I agree, but you can shorten some names and make them feel better, but you can shorten some and make them feel worse. Another cool Rumble moment was seeing Dominic interact with people who aren't Seth, Murphy, or Corbin. He looked around and he was like, "There's more people on this roster? Who's that? Who's that? Oh, there's Corbin. I knew he was in the roster. Look at all these legends returning." I thought, Mia Yim tested positive for COVID, and of course they're in a relationship together, so he lives with her. So, you know, hope that Mia has a good recovery, of course. But you know, precautions have to be taken, and that was why Keith Lee wasn't there. Are we going to talk about the again? Like, I missed the Jillian return, and I don't feel like I missed much missing it. But apparently it was a return that went over. Where is the former Juggernaut of the Cruiserweight divisions? Who are we on about? Are we on about Murphy? I don't know where Murphy is. I really don't know where Murphy is. Hurricane's failed chokeslam was... See, this is the thing, is that I don't... Like, when they did that spot in the 2002 Rumble, the first time I watched that Rumble, I didn't find it funny. They did it again, and I didn't find it funny. Hurricane for me was a wasted spot. That was all it was for me. Like, this is a guy as well who is routinely anti-WWE on Twitter. And they're just like, "Oh, we need a stupid spot, Hurricane." And he'll just be like, "Yep." So, I don't know. Wasted spot for me. Could have gone to someone else who had deserved it. Could have gone to Murphy, wherever he was. Murphy versus Escobar. I'd be disappointed if Murphy did this whole thing about getting out of the Cruiserweight division, being under Rollins' win, and going up and up and up the roster, just to go back down to NXT and face the Cruiserweight champion. Like, what a fall from grace. Helms look, well, I mean, you know, he's older than what he was 10 years ago. That's the reality of it. 2016's number 30 did not suck. Triple H was awesome in number 30 in 2016, because 2016's Rumble was awesome, and I will not take any Triple H slander. Aleister Black, I think Black is just having I don't think he's just sitting at home right now. Or maybe they're saving his return for something bigger. I don't know. We can hope, because we're all black marks. But I don't know. I feel bad for that guy. Carlito, thoughts? Yeah, cool. No pun intended. Supreme basically gave my answer for me. Cool. Like, you know, one of the better, a good Rumble return. I'll take it. They said they have plans for a dramatic return. Yeah, well, they say they have plans for a lot. They say there's a difference between saying you have a plan and executing the plan. So... Oh, I predicted that Triple H was going to win that Rumble as well. That didn't mean I was upset when he came out at number 30 and won the Rumble. I was elated. Black versus Big E for the IC Championship. See, that would be a really good match. But I think they're going to... There's probably someone else they've got lined up for Big E. Also, no, don't put Aleister Black back in NXT, for God's sake. We have... NXT's roster is already too oversaturated. Already has too many big names. We don't need another big name down there. Please, no. I'm of the belief that I think Christian is going to play a part in the storyline. I think he's going to play a part in terms of, like, he's going to be there. He might have some interactions with Drew and Edge. But I don't want him to be a back in ring again. Like, it was a great moment to see Christian, you know. But you can kind of, like, it can stay there for me, you know. Like, that can be his return. That's fine. I'm fine with that. I don't need to see him back in the ring. Because, again, I don't like seeing legends taking spots that other people have deservedly earned. The Rumble match kind of got me interested in the Lashley versus Big E match. That would be cool. They were really going at one another. They looked like, ooh. I was looking at it. I agree with you there, though. I was like, oh, they were throwing down at one another. I don't need... to me, Black and Ricochet was a weird tag team in the first place. It was like, what are you doing? And then putting them back together will not excite me in the slightest. Thank you for more money, Gabriel. You're far too kind. I think Andrade is probably... I don't know what's up with Andrade. But again, he's dating Charlotte Flair. So long as he's dating Charlotte Flair, he's staying in the WWE. There's nothing to worry about with that. Oh, yeah. When the moment Lashley and Big E got in each other's face, I was like, Hoss, 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 Hoss. And they put on a good Hoss fight. Credit where credit's due. So, there we go. Well, we talked about those matches. I don't remember the women's title match. That's not meant as disrespect. It was just a match. It could have been on a SmackDown or a Raw. It was fine. It was there. And the WWE title match was great until the finish, which completely deflated it all. Do I think there could have been any way to save Retribution? If they had done more in the Rumble, if they had done more in the Rumble in regards to... So, Almost an AJ didn't last that long, but it was a really good spot. The idea of Almost was always there to save AJ until he couldn't because he wasn't on that side of the ring. If Retribution, and Almost eliminating people as well, if Retribution was doing that, like if Ali came out and then Retribution just came out and just started controlling the ring, despite the fact they aren't even in the Rumble, they just started taking over the ring. That could have got them over until like enough people were there to gang up on them and get them all out. But that wasn't the case. Whenever Retribution were around, they were around individually. Like, Ali was out. And then, what? No one from Retribution decided to be there to help him? They were just like, oh yeah, he can do it on his own. He's fine. No, the idea of getting... They don't know if they want Retribution to just be a generic heel faction or this anarchist faction. If you want them to be the anarchist faction, have them take over and dominate the Royal Rumble like the Nexus did. But in the aspect of they're not even supposed to be in the Rumble. You can throw them over the top rope. It doesn't matter. They're going to come back in. They're just there to throw everything off course. To be a bastard. And instead, they just... It was just basically Ali trying to face the New Day by himself. So, again, it was like I kind of predicted. Because we talked about this in the Discord, and I said that, oh, Ali will take Kofi's spot. It's a good idea they've got going for it. But it won't mean anything. That was the reality of it. And it didn't mean anything. That's unfortunate. So there was still a way to save Retribution, but they've doomed themselves, unfortunately. So if Edge chooses Roman, how would you feel about Riddle winning US so Lashley could fight Drew? I think that Lashley versus Drew, they've already done it. That's my problem. You know? They've done it. It was fine. I don't really need to see it again. I think Ali tweeting the thing that he's tweeting is fine. He's right. It's fine because he's right. That's the honest truth. He's right. There's nothing wrong with what he's saying. I'm completely on board with what he's saying. And also, in a kayfabe sense, it makes sense because he's complaining about old-timers taking his spot. In kayfabe and shoot, fact check, true. I mean, yeah, pretty disappointed about the fact that I was right. See, look. You don't get a genius noggin like this. You don't get a forehead this big without having some brains in there. Ali and Kofi, yeah, they'll do Ali. No, the thing is that because WrestleMania is 2 nights, Ali and Kofi will be on probably night 1. Yeah, Riddle's gonna do this whole getting booked like a dumb babyface, and then he's gonna win at Mania. Cool. Yeah, to be fair, at least Bad Bunny put in the effort, you know? Like, most celebrities just come out and do nothing. At least he jumped off the top rope. That is credit where it's due. He at least put something in it when he came back. Credit to him for that. No, he shouldn't have had the It Should Have Been. Well, that kind of is a part of his thing, but the It Should Have Been Me gimmick was dog shit when Ziggler did it. And it's dead because Ziggler did it. I mean, I was completely out of the realm of it because I don't pay attention to modern music, so I didn't know who Bad Bunny was, but then again, I'm not supposed to know who Bad Bunny is because that's not my realm. But hey, he did a splash. Wasn't a great splash, but it was a splash. Credit to him. I feel Roman would be... If that's the case, if they're going to do Edge and Roman to have Edge lose and then retire, why did you give a Royal Rumble win to Edge? Congratulations, you just wasted a Royal Rumble victory, in my opinion. But if they're going to do Edge and McIntyre and Edge wins that one final run, I'm not on board with it massively, but fine. I can accept it. Now, the thing that you don't like about Sami Zayn is the fact that he's an effective heel. That's the thing. There's a lot of mentality in modern day people that they don't like heels because for X reason outside of them being a heel. No, the main reason you don't like them is because they're a heel and they're doing a good job. You don't want to admit it. Like I don't like Corbin in that regard. I don't like Corbin because he's a fantastic heel. That's why I don't like Corbin. I love to hate Corbin would be the best way of putting it. I mean, I didn't have any opinion on anything to do with Bad Bunny outside of the splash. When I came home from work, his performance was on, but it was mute. But I didn't have my headset on, so I missed it. All I saw was Booker T standing still, and I was like, right, what's going on? And then I found out that Bad Bunny actually had a massive record this year, so he is actually over. Do you think after Edge wins the title, he'll defend it more than Brock? 100%. I think Edge will be a weekly, will be a TV week-to-week guy. No doubt about it. He's not going to be a part-timer. I think they'll be spending a lot of time. If Edge wins the title from Drew, yeah, he's going to be there every week, in my opinion. Or nearly every week. Lashley and Riddle in the fight pit would be really good. I'd like to see that as well, in truth be told. I think that's the way. I think the way that they're going with that fight is to invite something like a fight pit. Because I don't think a normal one-on-one match is going to work with them. Unless they do it in like a really like painful kind of way, which could also work. Much like Corbin, love to hate him. Spot on, Pierre. Well, again, third, like I said before, if Edge won the Royal Rumble to not win a WrestleMania, why did you have him win at the Royal Rumble? Why did you waste a Royal Rumble victory on a legend? Seth's Universal title reign should have been better. He booked himself. Wait, he booked himself into a corner with that one by gobbing his mouth off on Twitter all the time. Thoughts on MSK and WWE? Hope nothing but the best for them. Really like them. I mean, this idea that all NXT stars get buried when they go to the main roster is not a good example, because look at some of the other names who've gone to the main roster. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, the Street Profits, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, Bayley, Becky, Shayna, Finn. It's just, look, some people who succeed, this is the problem when you have so many incredibly talented guys on one roster. Not all of them are going to get over. But the reality is, people like to point out that people like to focus on the bad things more than the good things. That is not just true for wrestling, that is true for every aspect in life. But in wrestling, it's very evident to see as well. I do not want to see... No, because honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, Third, that's some poor booking. That is just... heel controls the match for 6 minutes and then loses. No. I don't like matches like that. Probably because it takes way too long and no one gets over. Yeah, people don't have patience anymore. Wrestling fans don't have patience. They expect something to be bum 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 bum. No, I only read half it. No, I read all of it, dude. I don't think it's... I don't like it, personally. Said Lashley wins. Again, I don't really like it. Then it's a 6-minute squash where Riddle got in a bit of offense. I don't like it. Sorry. Thatcher was great in the 5-hit, but I think the shoot fight stipulation could benefit a lot of other stars like you Riddles and Lashley's. Yeah. I 100% agree. I think that's why, like, that idea of them being on Twitter like, hey, can we have this? Is great. I really like it. Because it would be a really good thing, a stip for their match. But yeah, I don't think Thatcher should go to the main roster as well, personally. If they're going to do this idea of that NXT is no longer the developmental brand, cool. Keep Thatcher on there, then. If you're going to keep Ciampa and Gargano on there, then just keep Ciampa on there. Oh, sorry, not Ciampa. Keep Thatcher on there, because Thatcher is not made for the main roster. He's made for an NXT-type show. Thought Joe was going to come in the Rumble. I think Joe is done. I think he's done with... for the most part with wrestling because of the number of injuries that he keeps on getting, which is a shame, obviously, but he's great on commentaries. That's the bonus. I don't think we'll never see a WWE UFC crossover because Dana White hates the WWE. He shits on it any chance he gets. I don't think Riddle's a horrible name. They've just cut off his first name. Shorty G was an absolutely terrible name, and no one can disagree with that. I don't think Riddle's a god-awful name. They've just got rid of Matt. We all complain about part-timers, but I popped huge when Edge won. Okay, then to put it politely, Pierre, that makes you a hypocrite. I didn't pop huge when Edge won, and I do complain about part-timers all the time. So, I'm maintaining what I stand by. But no. See, the idea, though, is that seeing these legends from our childhood win appeals a lot to the kid in us, the childhood in us. We love seeing that things as a childhood aspect of it. And don't get me wrong, the childhood part of me was probably really happy that Edge won. But the modern wrestling fan in me was on him winning it. Again, good but not great. I was happy, yeah. I mean, I'd have loved Bryan to win, but... they didn't do it. Balls in their court. I'm not going to complain about it too much. Nostalgia, yeah. It is nostalgia. So, well, the thing is, we're starting a program with Edge and Rollins is that then you'd have to move one of them to another brand. And they do kind of want to take this brand split seriously from time to time. From time to time. No. Sorry, Jeremy, no. That Luger, Brett being co-winners was stupid. One person wins the Rumble, not two. Bianca earned it. Ripley earned it. One of them's got to win, one of them's got to lose. And it just happened to be Ripley. Yeah. I mean, the thing is that it's a shame what happened to Joe, but at the same time, you know, he was getting on. Like, in terms of the in-ring aspect, age is age. You can't stop guys aging, and you can't stop their bodies getting more fragile, and you can't stop them getting more hurt, and that's just what happened to Joe. He had some great... Look, he had a great feud with Brock. Fantastic feud with Brock that culminated in a great match of Great Balls of Fire. But... where was I going with this? But they didn't, so, you know. And of course he got hurt, which is a shame. Why didn't 1994 restart the Rumble like they did in John and Day? Because 1994 was supposed to end in a double elimination. 2005 wasn't. 2005 was a botch. I know you didn't say you were a hypocrite, Pierre, but I am saying you're a hypocrite. Sorry. I know it's not a nice thing to say, but sometimes some people need to be told the truth. If you're gonna say that you don't like part-timers, but then Edge comes in and wins the Rumble, then you're kind of going against your own cause. New Day, yeah, that was a lovely touch from the New Day's attire. I was really happy to see that. R-Truth is known for being from the Fountain of Youth. That's the reality of it. I was in the car this morning and Rose... Oh, cool. Alright, moving on. Anything other than that, because who cares? Dude, Edge's attire did look nice. It reminded me of heel Edge in 2008. Like when he faced Taker at SummerSlam, it reminded me of that attire. Yeah, that was a nice touch. I liked his attire, but you know. I have not drunk anything. I drank last night, but I didn't get drunk. I haven't been drunk in months. It reminded me of a hybrid between 2010 Edge and 2008 Edge. Yes, he just needs to bring back the beanie. That's what he needs. 2 Royal Rumble winners. It was what? I don't know. Sorry, I'm confused. Oh, you're on about 99 2000. I mean, 2000 was kind of, they booked themselves into a corner, and then 99 was absolutely stupid. I didn't get hungover either. Third, I didn't get drunk. I haven't been drunk in months again. Part-timers are good for putting over younger talents, that's it. Yeah, and then the problem is, though, with a lot of the old-timers right now is that they're like, I'm the guy from the Attitude Era. I'm more important than any of these part-timers. Put me over! Seth's Rumble attire was pretty good. Yeah, it was. Sorry, I had to remember it for a second then. Yeah, it was actually pretty good. Who do I think he's going after? I think he's going after Drew. I don't know why I can't think of a kayfabe reason for him going after Roman. At all. Mysterio grew his eye back. Fantastic, you know. Again, sponsor, hashtag ad. He just went in the mirror and put some Nivea cream for men on his eye. Beautiful. I don't think they'll do Roman and KO again. I think they've burned that bridge too many times now. The dude got choked out clean. Like, that's the thing. The match pretty much ended clean. KO tried to do a heel tactic to win, and then Roman broke out and choked him out. You know, that's how it goes. Dude's done, in my opinion. KO and Roman is over. I think they'll move on to KO and Bryan. Probably KO and Shinsuke at Fastlane first, but that's fine with me. Smaller eye underneath the larger. You're genius, Pierre. Congratulations. Congratulations. You're right. You're right. Drew's storyline fits Edge perfect. Drew's been the man who... Yeah. You know, he was the guy who beat the Legend Killer. And... he beat Goldberg. So, yeah. Go after Edge. And also, I think Edge is destined to stay on Raw anyway. If you Raw loses out by losing Edge because then they have far less people. They're suddenly dry for Mania opponents for Drew. Roman took his moment away from eliminating him last year. Yeah, but he won this year, so what does it matter? Like, you know, that's kind of the thing. It's like, oh, okay. The last man standing match was fine. My only thing with last man standing matches, and this is a reality of last man standing matches, this is one of its problems, is that you can't help that, like, it's like fast forwarding something. It's like spot, pause, skip to the next spot, pause, skip to the next spot. It's like you do the next spot, and then you stumble over to the other bit, and then you do the next spot, and then you stumble over to the next bit, and you do the other spot, and then you stumble over to the next spot, and then you go home. That's the problem with last man standing matches. They were doing a really, really good job, in all fairness. Both men were taking bumps. But it was just kind of that thing of like, oh, now we just go over here and do this spot, and now we go over there and do that spot, and now we'll go over here and do the finish. Surprised Ray and Dom didn't do anything together. Well, that's the thing, is that Dominic's probably not legal to drink beer, so they couldn't do anything together because Ray was there to plug his sponsor. Dominic can't be there. They're promoting underage drinking. Also, I'm aware Dominic's probably like 24 or something. Yeah, no, ratings are not a good excuse to bring back part-timers. That's why you get the talent on the roster there now over, not use part-timers to squash the new breed. Shoot me in the head. Bianca and Sasha, they are going to fire some promos at one another, and I can't wait for it. Yeah, I enjoyed the last man standing match up until the finish. I thought the finish... It was literally just because it took them so long to take the handcuffs off. It was like, oh, this is getting rough. Edge, selfish as fuck, got injured. He was like, hang on. How can I get myself into a WrestleMania main event? I know. Oh, there goes my tendon. Put me out. Now put me in. Yeah, remember when the Goldberg... Yeah. Hey, remember The Fiend? We didn't tonight. It was not like he was on the poster for the Rumble or anything. It's not like he was on the poster for the thumbnail of the stream. No. Yikes. The car spot did make me laugh. You know, credit where credit's due. AEW did it better. AEW's was meant to be comedy, and it hit the nail on the head really well. But I liked the part that Kevin was just standing there, and then from stage left, along comes Roman. It was good though. They sold it really well. They're not bringing back Big Goldie. They'll never bring back Big Goldie. It's an unfortunate reality, but Big Goldie is not coming back. They won't bring it back. It's a WCW title for one, and they love shitting on WCW every chance they get, and they can't shit on if they're using Big Goldie. I know it's an NWA title as well, but it's also well known for being in WCW. They want to shit on WCW every chance they get, even though they continue to use Goldberg. And also the Big Goldie is an old title. It fits that old title designs. WWE are really about these new streamlined looks, like you see with the WWE title, the women's titles. They like this streamlined, easy, vibrant title, which is what they're going to go with the mid, which is why they keep using the Universal title. I agree. Universal title. Poor title. Don't like it. Haven't liked it. Never like it. But they're not going to get rid of it. But if you want to see Roman Reigns with Big Goldie, you know where to go. Will you press the button? Big Gold comes back with the strap as Jolly Rancher Blue. No. Look, I've said it. Like Big Goldie is without a doubt one of my favorite titles of all time, if not my favorite. But I'm fine with it not coming back. I'm fine if it stays in the past. It's a legendary title of the past. I'm fine with it staying in the past. Oh no, don't Pierre, because they may actually do Roman versus Goldberg. Oh, sorry, Randy versus Goldberg. Ah! Okay, but what if we give it to Jinder? I'm listening. I'm listening. Go on, keep going, keep going. You have my attention. I mean, yeah. But then again, you could say that about the WWE title as well. No, I like the vegan title, the hemp title. I think it was a good job of getting over his gimmick. It did a good job. You want Randy to beat Drew? Well, just go back to the summer when they feuded for 9 years. And basically that's it. Okay, yeah, no, I'm sold, Ryan. I'm sold. Jinder versus Drew would be cool. Just watch the Indian show, Daro. They did it there. They did it there. I mean, I'm disappointed at the fact that they have no innovation to make a title any different than that. Because the reality is that you look at the... I'm going to use the example of what is my favorite title in WWE right now. The US title. You look at the US title, and it is just gorgeous. It is a belt. It is a championship. It's sublime. And then you look at the Universal title. It's like, you can make that. You can make the US title. But you can't make the two world titles feel different from each other. Ah. No innovation. Yeah, the Intercontinental title and the US title both look really good. The US title is miles above the Intercontinental title, in my opinion. It's America. Yeah, you've got me there. It is. Yeah, no, you've got me there, Pierre. Hook, line, and sinker. You prefer the old US title? Nah, I'm sorry, right? Nah, the old US title. Nah, it's too gimmicky for me. Especially now that the new one has come along and just blown it out of the water. It's a very child's title. Imagine waiting 11 years to win a world title as a Velcro strap. Dude, they've been getting them kiddies replicas. That's what they've been doing. Best titles are Goldie and the IC title. Or the modern IC title. I like it. I don't love it. I can see why people like it, but I don't. I don't love it. It's good. It's not great. It's the Royal Rumble 2021. It's good, but it's not great. Was there anything else on the Rumble that happened that we haven't talked about? In terms of matches, because I think we've covered them all. I think. If that's the case, then you think America respects the continents? America is the continents! Sasha versus Carmella? Nah, that was just a match that could have been on any show. It could have been on Raw, SmackDown. It was there. It was fine. No complaints. Nothing really to say about it either. I'm only saying that because I don't remember anything that happened in the match. There was a pre-show. Oh. I didn't watch that. Do I live in America? No. Absolutely not. Please, no. I'm living in my hobbit hole in Wales. It was good. I mean, that's the thing. Like, again, it was there. It was fine. I got nothing bad to say about it. But I have nothing good to say about it. It was there. But if you enjoyed it, good on you. I was really hoping Tucker would win the Rumble, but oh well, there's always next year. There is. There is. Never forget the man who sacrificed his whole career just so Miz could win Money in the Bank. Dude went from being in a tag team with one of the hottest things to, yeah. When was the last time you wrestled? Oh, how am I doing? I'm fine, Kevin. How are you? I'm enjoying my time off work. I've earned these 2 days off, in my opinion. Every week I earn 2 days off. I've run out of things to say now. I've run out of things to talk about with the Rumble. It was good, but not great. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. There you go. 7 out of 10 is an overall pay-per-view. Beautiful. Alright. I am going to finish this, though, because I want to go back to playing Football Manager. It's a shame because everybody knew that Tucker was going to get buried after that, but nobody really cared because Otis is a true star. Yeah. What true star getting benched by Bianca Belair? 8 out of 10? Fair. But there's only one. Oh, I like that idea if they were a tag team. They share the tag team titles. We don't want to burn the environment. People are going 8s. Okay. That's fine. I can see why you'd give it an 8. I have no problem with you guys not giving it an 8. I'll just stick to a 7. It's close to an 8, but I can't give it an 8, so I'm gonna give it a 7. There you go. Because I can't give it an 8, I gotta give it a 7. There you go. Ooh, Dara, look at you agreeing with me. Disgusting. Alright, cool. Anyway, final bit of news. Now that we've had a nice little hour-long chat. I'm going to bring some good news to everyone. Universe returns this week. Thank you very much. I'm bored. I'm bored of waiting. I'm not waiting. I'm doing. I'll see you at some point this week. ECW is done. Literally just need to sit down for an hour and do some commentary, and then we'll get it sometime this week. Do I know when? No. Do I know that it will be out? Yes. So I'll see you guys there, whenever that is. Not sure when, but it will be. Anyway, I'm now going to go play Football Manager because I'm addicted to it. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you for stopping by and chatting. Had a nice little bit of fun. Nice to chat about that. Good luck. Thank you. That's it, Maris. I'm going to send you a very personal, frustrated DM. Good luck with everything. Good luck to you as well, buddy. But thank you all for tuning in. Had a good time. Had a bit of fun. Thank you for all the money as well. Thank you for the sponsors. And thank you as well to Gabriel as well for becoming a member of the GOAT tier. Much loves to you all. I will end this evening, though, for GOAT members. I'm going to throw up something from In the Vault. So tomorrow there'll be an In the Vault video from the Vault video for everyone else. It's going to be Bobby Fish versus Kyle O'Reilly. There you go. Right. Enjoy the rest of your evenings or days, wherever you are. I'm now going to go and play Football Manager. Have fun. See you soon. Much loves. Take care all. See ya.